says, can Jinbe beat Sanji in a 1v1?
Fight?
I assume, yeah.
Not gonna be.
In a fight, yeah.
A real question fight?
Yeah, they fighting. I think he can. I don't think he would. I think he could.
Bro, that's dollar menu fish fillet, bro.
Oh, man.
Dollar.
Man. Listen, he got the water for that flame leg, bro.
He can walk in water, too.
Oh, yeah, he can burn the...
Yeah. What's it called?
I forgot. He like spawned underwater.
Blue walk, yeah.
That was the fakest thing that's ever happened in One Piece, bro.
I got Sanji, but Jinbe be one-shotting people. He one-shotted one of Big Mom's sons. Easy work. The one that was watching Luffy while he was in the book. Jinbe came up and just punched him once. Fight was
Opera.
over.
Yeah,
It was
Opera.
Put
Or his
him down.
twin.
I watched Who's Who get past his armor in Haki. I watched Sanji take a sword to the neck, chilling. You mean to tell me if... All right, let's switch Jinbe and Sanji in that moment. What happened in Jinbe?
Jinbe catches the sword and breaks it.
Sanji only got hit by the sword because he was distracted or whatever.
That's
but,
what I'm saying.
It's
in
always
general,
like,
No, I'm saying
Sanji was going to
general.
So he's saying that he watched him get body, right? So I'm saying like, can Jinbe output that kind of damage to put Sanji down like that?
Yes.
Well, you do realize that Queen is questionable if he even used Haki. Like, why wouldn't he? Yes, but he didn't use Haki hardening. We know that for a fact.
Thank you.
But this dude was using Haki hardening against Jinbe, and it barely got past for like a little bit. But then also too, later on, Jinbe used Haki hardening where it broke the same things that were hitting him before.
It wasn't hard in that actually, bro. When Who's finger broke, he wasn't even making contact. So I don't know if it's like Fishman Karate or like advanced arm with the invisible armor around it. Yeah. So that's a whole like another thing. But the thing is, Queen even without Haki is still able to put up has amazing feats. Like when Brachial Bomb when he knocked out Big Mom, no Haki, knocked out Big Mom. That's a cyborg.
There was more. There.
Obviously,
He didn't physically just knock out Big Mom. That's not what happened, bro. She was having mental like an episode.
But she didn't use Haki. So I'm saying neither of them used Haki, but he was still able to knock out Big Mom. So I'm saying like Queen's physical strength is immense. I would say Queen is physically stronger than Jinbe.
So you got Sanji. I got Sanji.
Yeah, they both got Jinbe. I'm assuming.
No,
I think Lawrence had Sanji.
To me, I got Sanji, but Jinbe could win the fight. Like, it's not, to me, it could go 50-50, or you can even go 60-40. But Jinbe has a chance of beating Sanji, but I do favor Sanji in the fight.
My biggest thing is I don't think that Jinbe can... So, Jinbe has to continually land hits on Sanji and then stack that damage to a point that we haven't even seen because Sanji's like regen ability and also just a durability and endurance altogether. So I don't think Jinbe could hit him enough to put him down is what I'm getting at. That's what I was saying. You have to hit him multiple times, like not even just Sanji trying to dodge. You know what I'm saying? And his endurance as well.
So one person has shown before the time skip that he was able to fight for 3 days. Sanji has shown he's only been able to fight at that level for like 10 to 15 minutes. So
well, see, here's the thing though, lad.
So the thing
that's
is too,
after he was fighting King and Queen.
Oh, 5 days, my bad. So again, if we're gonna go off of Sanji right now, Sanji after fighting King and Queen and Jinbe after fighting Who's Who, Jinbe would still whoop Sanji.
Huh?
What? Wait, you're saying? Hold on, you're saying non-awakened Sanji?
If we're giving them both fights prior to how they were during the fights that they ended up fighting in, then I would say that Jinbe overall is going to have a higher chance of beating Sanji because we're going to evil the playing field, right?
Wait, so you're saying after Sanji fought King and Queen?
Yes.
Before he fought Queen the second time?
Yeah.
And if Jinbe then fought at that moment?
Yeah, but
Sanji just fought Who's Who. But are you saying awakened Sanji? Like, does he have the awakened?
Yeah, he has all that stuff.
Oh,
I think that puts Sanji over the top. Personally, if he has access
again, he was only able to fight Queen at that level for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Because
that's it. And then what happened?
Because his body was changing.
Okay,
his body got fatigued.
So his body, what? That's headcanon. We don't know if he just gained
how
fatigue.
Much water is nearby.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Wait, time out. Wait, you're talking about like on land, no water?
On land is dub, bro.
Whoa, bro.
On land is dub.
We know that he could still do water shots.
On land is dub.
Okay, so we went to Fishman Island. We saw a hoodie and we saw Hold on. We saw a hoodie and we saw Jinbe able to throw water bullets when there was no water around.
Okay, Master, is Jinbe stronger or weaker in water?
I would say that he's stronger. If we're gonna give everybody this post-time skip strength, right? Jinbe from Fishman Island to now is stronger.
No, I'm not talking about like.
I'm
talking about in water.
Yo, I'm not speaking about water. Water has nothing to do with
this.
Yes,
because fish are stronger in water.
They had a beachfront, bro. There's water there.
No, bro. Why do we need to give that advantage? There's no advantage to give.
Because he's stronger in that situation.
Every time I've seen a fisherman fight in water, they've lost. God. So I don't care about the water part.
So you're confidently saying to me that you think Jinbe would beat Sanji out of water?
Yes. Queen, honestly, Queen was using nothing but gimmicks and technology against Sanji. When he went to go slice Sanji with that sword was a no-named attack by a sword that's not known at all. So either way, there's nothing behind that attack except him swinging a sword. So granted, he can tank the attack. That's cool. That's okay. But when we're talking about a person that was shooting Haki at Jinbe, and that same Haki bites were going through the floor to multiple floors, it proved that even when Jinbe took it, and it was supposed to rip off his arm, he took it off and was okay with it. And then he proceeded to like two-shot Who's Who real quick when he got serious. Who's Who didn't get back up. Queen didn't use one Haki feat at all.
So my problem with what your logic is here is that I don't think Sanji would even need to go into his away. Like, he wouldn't need to tap into his exoskeleton to beat Who's Who at all.
Well, Queen's Haki feat was early when Sanji was doing Ifrit Jambe. But the thing is, Queen... Okay, let me ask you a question. If Queen wraps Jinbe in Brachiosnake is Jinbe's bones breaking?
The thing is, I don't think Jinbe would allow that to happen.
I'm asking it.
But you're putting him in a situation where he's most likely not going to have that happen. The only reason that happened was because
he's arguing the durability of a person.
I'm making a point.
No, so again, if you're going to argue durability points, you got to be like, okay, so if Queen ended up kicking or punching Jinbe, would he have been hurt? Putting him in Brachiosaurus is basically saying Jinbe is dealing with an existential crisis where he gets caught in it. You can't do that.
The reason why I'm saying is because
if Zoro got caught in that too, Zoro would have the same effect that Sanji
So let me ask you a question. So who's faster?
So that's unfair.
No. So who's faster?
Who's faster? Sanji.
Okay. Who has better observation so far that we know?
We don't know.
Based on you're talking about feats.
We don't know. I would say Sanji. He showed that he had better observation feats.
So Sanji,
but Jinbe hasn't had the panel time enough to show that.
So I'm saying that Queen was not only fast enough, but also caught Sanji off guard to the point where Queen was able to wrap himself around Jinbe.
Okay.
And then break Jinbe's bones. Break Sanji's bones. So I'm saying if you switch those two people,
that's not
what he's saying is based. This person's faster and has better observation.
But
so
it's
he's more likely to be caught with the attack.
I understand what he's saying, but what I'm saying is that's a manipulated question. Why? Because even though Sanji does have the observation to avoid that, he didn't. Why? Because he was dealing with his body changing. That's the only reason he got caught by that.
Okay, so now you're
so
now you can see that his body was changing and that sort of.
No, I'm saying because he was dealing with stuff mentally is the reason why he got caught by that.
Yeah. So the reason why I said that wasn't to say that Jinbe would get caught. My thing was to build a foundation that not only is Sanji faster, but also his observation is higher, and also his endurance/durability is higher. So now you have to put Jinbe in a situation. Can he deal that kind of damage to Sanji? I don't believe so.
Yeah, whoever's
that's not mine.
All right. Again, you can't use that aspect of the fight in order to prove that's why Sanji would just be better than Jinbe. Why? Because if Zoro... Does Zoro show any type of observation feats comparable to Sanji?
No, so I think you're...
You asked me to ask you. You asked a question. I'm asking you a question.
Sanji wasn't going through anything physically when he got caught Brachiosaurus.
I think I'm saying it's just to build a foundation of is he faster and is his observation better?
Then you got to prove other ways of him. Be like, he turned invisible because he was going so fast. You're using feats that are just saying if this person was in this situation, then that would happen to him too. Where that's not going to happen to Sanji.
But I'm saying his speed and durability.
Right. So he can turn invisible because he's so fast, right? Okay. And also he can tank attacks because he could just regenerate, right? Yes. Okay, that's cool. Is Zoro as fast as Sanji?
No.
Okay, does Zoro have the observation Haki of Sanji?
People will argue yes, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so who would win in a fight?
Debatable. Depends who you ask.
Zoro.
Depends who you ask.
Zoro.
Definitely depends who you ask.
Okay,
Zoro.
I'm asking you, who wins in the fight?
Zoro.
I have him equal, man.
I have
equal.
Okay, so again, this is where context and storylines clash, right? So what I'm going to tell you is that Jinbe has been able to show that if he was to stare at Yonko like Big Mom in the face, he's on the same level where it's going to be Law, Kid, Luffy, Zoro, and possibly Killer, because they were able to stand up to them even when they were scaring them, right?
So you're saying Jinbe's in the same category as them?
I would say Jinbe.
So then you also put Frankie there too.
I would say Jinbe's closer to them than Sanji is.
So you have to put Frankie in that same category then?
Yeah, now you wild, bro.
But the thing is, what I'm saying to you, when she directly used Conquerors on him specifically, and was like, yo, treat or life. And he was like, yo, I'm not scared of you. Like, I can compete with you. And then he proceeded to punch Big Mom off the ship. And then also, hold on. The thing is, too, it's like, again, there's a stamina factor. We've seen it in the story many times with Luffy. Luffy can compete with these people like Kaido. He could compete with people like Katakuri. He could compete with people like Cracker and Doflamingo. But for those 10 to 15 minutes, as he's competing, he never fully completes the fight. So if he runs out of his stamina, which Sanji has stated that he does have stamina issues when it comes to this, then he's going to prove that he can only fight for so long. So if Jinbe outlasts all his attacks and is able to compete with him, and we know that his Haki level is most likely stronger than Sanji's, we're only worrying about observation, we're only worrying about speed. But if I was to offer that same counter argument about Blackbeard and Sanji fighting Blackbeard and Sanji having all these extra qualities that Blackbeard doesn't have, you would still say that Blackbeard wins. What I'm saying is the same thought.
Hawks though.
What Hawks? If I'm outspeeding you, if Blackbeard's able to get attacked whenever,
the thing is, okay. So with the reason, so just to go back to the Zoro
does Blackbeard have better durability than Sanji?
Durability or endurance?
Don't matter, bro. Does he have anything that's better than Sanji besides Devil Fruits?
I would say no. I would say, but he
so
said
then,
his
again,
endurance.
This argument of just like, yo, because he's faster and because he has better observation doesn't mean anything.
But I'm saying,
you're bringing
that
this
was
to so
only
many
the first
different
part.
points.
That was my foundation question, and then I was gonna build off of it. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, we've already seen Sanji using Ifrit Jambe. His AP is high enough to deal a lot of damage to Jinbe very quickly before Jinbe can even realize what's happening to him.
That's not true either, because hold on. That's not. But this is the thing too, right? Okay, he uses Diamble Jambe. Is it hotter than magma?
It's blue flames.
Is it hotter than magma?
We can argue.
We can argue. I saw an admiral who has Rio, who has armament Haki, who is top tier in the verse right now. He did punch or try to punch through Luffy. Jinbe ended up blocking it. And we can probably guess he didn't use any type of armament Haki. He probably just used the water.
Either water or fishman.
Okay, so now let's add armament Haki to that.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Do you think '𝐻𝑢's AP is higher or lower than Sanji's?
I would say it depends on the technique that he uses.
Bro.
It depends on the technique that he uses.
First, Dialbe Jambe is already durability.
Negation.
Not negation. Bypassing. Already bypassing.
So it acts like Rio. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm saying now you're adding a higher flame, faster speed, and stronger attacks.
Okay, and then how many times?
And it's going to stack. I'm saying.
So how many times did Queen get hit with that?
A lot.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. With Ifrit, after he got hit with Ifrit, the fight was over. Like, there was no point where he took it and was like, all right, I'm good still.
No, he got knocked off of Onigashima.
He got knocked out of his hyper form.
No, he got knocked out. Completely out. And then, was gone.
But who's a better fighter?
Between who?
Queen or Jinbe?
Jinbe, to me.
Okay, then. Yo, this guy is not going to get hit that many times by Sanji and not be able to block it.
But I'm saying, that's the thing. Even if he's able to block it, it's going to stack. And the thing is, Jinbe's not going to be able to perceive how. Yes.
Yeah, we take it too long.
Right,
he was basically. I just said it. He was blocking Akainu, who's magma, who's considered the highest AP in the game.
That is one.
He has a higher AP than Sanji, and he blocked it.
Listen, bro. The thing is, this is direct. Okay, all right. So if I'm gonna punch Sebastian, right, and you jump in front of Sebastian. Oh, sorry, man. Okay, and you know I'm gonna punch Sebastian, right? Could you block it? Could you prepare yourself to block it, right?
I could possibly, yeah.
Okay, so now imagine there's 10 of me punching Sebastian at the same time. Would you
10 of you? Because there's not 10 of you.
There's 10 people like me. 10
he's talking.
He's just talking about speed wise. I couldn't be able to block it all.
Exactly.
But what I'm telling you is that there's one person, right? And just because you're
time out. So wait, you just conceded that 𝐻𝑢's attacks are stronger than Akainu's then. That's what you said.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't.
Yes, it is.
I didn't say that.
That's what you just said, that he was able to block Akainu's, so he should be able to block Sanji's.
This logical fallacies on both
He wasn't able to stop 𝐻𝑢's.
I can't hear him. What did you say?
He wasn't able to block 𝐻𝑢's. 𝐻𝑢's attacks bypassed Jinbe's armament. So then you're saying that 𝐻𝑢's attacks would be stronger than Akainu's as well.
No, that's not what I'm saying either. You
just said the reason why he couldn't do damage to Jinbe is because Jinbe was able to block Akainu.
You're playing around with the intricacies of the fight. It's the same thing as me saying, okay, so like Akainu was able to punch
2 more minutes,
and use whatever he used against to attack Luffy.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we look at the 𝐻𝐻𝑚 situation, he couldn't just block Shiryu because of whatever he was doing, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that in that instance, when Akainu is bloodlusted, and he's trying to go after the main protagonist of the show, and he knows that people are trying to intercept him,
Yeah.
he's going to use some of his strongest attacks. What I'm saying is that there are attacks, such as like swords, who do more damage than regular blunt attacks.
Yes.
And that's true, right?
Yes.
That's the reason why, even though Luffy can use Rio and use Conqueror's Coding Advanced form, Zoro in his normal Conqueror's state can just use a sword and just be able to cut Kaido.
Yeah.
It would be more difficult for him. So what I'm trying to say is, who is using his teeth? It's a sharp object. He was able to create enough attack damage in order to bypass certain aspects of blocking with Haki. Right? That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Sanji doesn't have that. He ultimately fights with blunt attacks, and then he uses his flames like Rio, which ends up hurting him. Sanji's using Haki, of course, but he's not using Rio Haki. So I'm going to say, for my instance, if Jinbe can block Magma, and it's from the person in the show who has the highest AP, said highest AP, then I'm going to assume that he could just block regular Jimbei whatever attacks at will. Now, the point is, again, can he block them because Sanji is so fast, or Sanji has the observation Haki? That's the one aspect of the fight that's very unsure. That's what makes it extreme diff. But if I said, yo, Zoro would have those same type of difficulties, you gotta say Zoro wins either way, because you just know Zoro wins. Am I bugging?
It doesn't. Wait, I'm gonna move on. We can talk about that later.
I'm just done with this, bro.
So we can move on, but I just want to say, just because, for example, 𝙑𝙀 got into Jinbe with those spike things over his Haki, with his teeth, doesn't mean that his Haki's beta are stronger. Because, like, for example, I mean, just one that we can move on. Who do you think is stronger, Luffy or Cracker? Or Haki stronger, Luffy or Cracker?
Haki? Oh, yeah, obviously Luffy.
No, but I'm talking about Luffy then when he was fighting Cracker, not now.
Close, because he was able to block Gear 4. So
It's but like he was also getting pushed back by Gear 4, right? So like Crackers, like Luffy and Base wasn't able to like push Crackers or Biscuits that much. Like he was able to get through it, but they were able to block it. But once Luffy started using Gear 4, he was breaking through them like they were nothing.
No, they were still blocking him. That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, but what, I'm talking about single Crackers. They took a lot to break the Black Luffy's Gear 4. Because I was just watching it. I watched it recently. The Luffy was breaking through them. And that's why he was able to eat them after Nami was like putting water on them, right? But Cracker was still able to cut through Luffy's Gear 4 punch, right? So
cut through?
Like
he was able to cut him.
Exactly.
He cut through.
No, yeah, you saw blood.
He almost cut.
Yeah, he cut. I was not saying he cut off Luffy's arm, but you cut enough deep enough where blood started coming out of Luffy's arm. So you use that same thing where like while Jinbei's blocking with Haki or whatever. But those spikes still got through. Yeah, it got through, but it's not like it did a crazy amount of damage. It was like, oh, his Haki's automatically stronger than Jinbei's, or Cracker's Haki's automatically stronger than Luffy's.
But I think the fact that he was able to cut Luffy, that means that at that moment, they're very close, at least. Like, it's not like a huge disparity between the two.
Yeah.
With Jinbe, even though, like, I know you're talking about blunt versus slashing damage, even with that fact, if Jinbei's was that much stronger than 𝙑𝙀, like, but Jinbe, I would say Jinbe and 𝙑𝙀 are very, like, if 𝙑𝙀 was like a 8, Jinbei's like an 8.5 in that situation because they're very close. I'm just giving you a number because in Haki, because he wouldn't be able to get past Jinbei's full body armament if he wasn't that close, at least that close. So I'm saying, even though you can argue slashing damage versus blunt damage, like to Larry's point, if he's able to block a kindness punch, even though it is blunt, but it's not only blunt, but it's hot. It's the combination of the two.
It's melting. Yeah.
Yeah. So if 𝙑𝙀 was able to bypass his defense, regardless of its slashing versus blunt, Sanji was to be able to impart damage onto Jinbe that would later on like stack because he can continuously be hit by that same amount of force continuously over and over again. So it's like a kind of constantly punching him with that same punch multiple times. Or when 𝙑𝙀 was like, I don't know if it was like finger barrage, but when he was basically like a finger pistol over and over again. Like the fact he was able to bypass his armament, even though it was like a little bit, it was still stacking that damage, and his armament Haki was still at least to a level comparable or the same.
Okay, but then going to the end of that fight with Jinbe and 𝙑𝙀, right? Yeah. He started. I guess he increased his strength of his Haki.
I think he bloomed.
Because I don't. You could say he bloomed, but to me, it's like, for example, what Law showed it, like with more or stronger Haki output. Right? It could be that he put more Haki into it, but after a while, 𝙑𝙀's fingers started to break. Yeah. Right? And then when he grabbed 𝙑𝙀 couldn't do nothing to get out of it. And then the fight ended, kind of showing that 𝙑𝙀 wasn't. They're not on the same level.
No. Exactly.
No.
They're not even close.
That's what I'm saying. I never said they were close.
Okay.
You said one is an 8 and one is an 8.5.
I'm saying hockey. I'm saying hockey wise, based on what in that moment they would have to be close.
Even hockey wise, they're not that close.
They would have to be for him to bypass his armament. It wouldn't make sense not to.
Well, because like if you want to argue that, like if that's the case, then why was one able to take one's attack, but then Husu, as soon as Jinbe really attacked him, he could take none of it.
Okay, so
fight was over.
let me ask you a question: Which attack would do more damage to Kaido? A basic armament or Ryo?
Yeah,
Why?
because it goes in deeper.
That's what Jinbe did. He basically bypassed all Husu's armor. And
He's saying if they were close enough in strength, he should be able to take more of those
no,
shots.
but I'm saying bypassing your defense, like that just sort of throws the whole metric out the window. That's what I'm saying. That's why Luffy learned it in the first place, because it sort of bypassed all of Kaido's defense.
I get what you're
Are
saying.
y'all done?
Yeah. All right.
Jesus.
A few moments.
Can't let y'all talk for 2 seconds, bro.
Who is a more lethal fighter than Queen was?
I would say so. Yeah.
I would disagree.
No, lethal. I would say Husu went for the jugular. Queen was a.
One was a tank and one was offensively capable.
I'm not getting into all that.
All right, move on.
Queen was stronger than him.
No. Queen is stronger than who's who. I'm not denying.
Lethal fighter, I agree.
I'm just saying that one's more lethal. If Sanji was to get bit by one of those bites, he'd probably lose in the shoulder. Let's see him regenerate one.
All right. Are y'all done?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, right.
Yo,